Welcome back to Anime Recommendation Center, where I give my reviews on manhwa, manga, manhwa, anime and light novels. So today we will be discussing about The Beginning After the End, 15 things you need to know about this fantasy webcomic. The Beginning After the End, popularly known as TBATE, is a thrilling webcomic, accentuating a fantasy-oriented realm with powerful mages, mana beasts, and godly beings. The core of The Beginning After the End revolves around Arthur Lewin, a unique character with an interesting background. The Beginning After the End depicts Arthur Lewin as an individual trying to live a more fulfilled life compared to his previous one. However, Arthur encounters difficulties and momentary obstacles that prevent him from achieving his goal. Presently, the webcomic has over 100 chapters, signifying the depth of the story's plot. Here's a list of key details fans need to know about The Beginning After the End. 15. The Beginning After the End has a power system within a power system. The Ether Arts. While it is no surprise that TBATE operates a mana-based power system, it appears that mana is only half of the actual power system operated in the series. Hinted several times through authors' use of Static Void and Realmheart in extreme situations, Ether has been revealed to be the other half of the power system used in the series. According to Meyer, Ether is explained as mana being a liquid in a cup and ether being the cup itself, implying that ether is the force used to manifest mana itself. Due to its limited users and limited knowledge of its use, ether is only further expounded upon when Arthur evolves after destroying his mana core, creating an ether core, and manipulating ether like mana, a feat considered impossible even by the Asura. Ether is divided into three distinct branches, which are the Vivum, existence, Avum, time, and Spatium, space. 14. Arthur Lewin is not the only reincarnate. Elijah and Tessia. As the series' protagonist, the truth about Arthur's reincarnation is a secret known to very few characters in the series. However, even more shocking is the fact that according to the web novel, Arthur's reincarnation was premeditated and, as such, not a random act of fate. Beyond this is the fact that alongside Arthur, Elijah is also a reincarnate of Nico, Arthur's best friend in his previous life as King Grey, same as Tessia, who is the reincarnate of Cecilia, another key figure in both Grey and Nico's previous lives. Part of a fail-safe plan by Agrona Vritra to ensure his victory against the Asura and Ephiodus, Agrona is responsible for the reincarnation of Grey, Nico and Cecilia, a feat he was only capable of after discovering the Edict of Fate, a branch of ether and a core component of reincarnation magic. Agrona only narrowly missed out on controlling Arthur because of a slight miscalculation, which led to Arthur reincarnating to the Lewins instead of a family of Agrona's choosing. 13. The Beginning After the End is an elaborate family scrap for power. The Indrath clan versus the Vritra clan. It is easy to see the TBATE series as a grandiose fantasy tale of a chosen child of destiny with the power to resolve a world's conflict and violence that has spanned thousands of years. However, at the heart of it all, the series presents a tale of an elaborate tussle for power among ancient and powerful members of the same race and family, with the humans of Decathan and Alakria happening to be caught between both opposing sides. Related. 8 things The Beginning After the End is better than most other isekai manga. The series' central conflict originates from the land of Ephiodus between the Asura, specifically the Indrath and Vritra clans. Beginning from the mass genocide committed against the ancient Djinns by Lord Kejus Indrath, which led to the exile of Agrona and the Vritra clan after the latter threatened to expose the crimes committed by Kejus to the great 8 clans of Ephiodus. Defeat and desperation finally drove Agrona to the edge of solutions, ultimately leading to Arthur's reincarnation and kickstarting the series. 12. The war is only a signal for the series' main events. The first piece of TBATE's rippling domino effect. With the webcomic just returning with a new season following the indefinite hiatus, the series' events are definitely about to get pacey. However, fans and readers should know that all that has happened so far in the webcomic up until the 5th season has been nothing more than introductory events at best, with the series' main events about to start rolling in. Season 6 starts with the impending war between Decathan and Alakria, which opens the floodgates to the series' main events. According to the web novel, the war and its aftermath are precursors to events like the fall of Decathan, the discovery of the relictums, and the exploration of Alakria as a country of people and not a force of destruction. All of these happen with no one else but the series' protagonist at the eye of it all, unraveling both himself and the plotlines with relative speed. Also, as far as unravelings go, the best of the series' plot twists are yet to come. 11. The Beginning After the End's most powerful race, the Djinns. A race of truth seekers and philosophers. Throughout the series, fans and readers have largely believed that the most powerful race in the series from all in the series is definitely the Asuras, who are even referred to as deities by other races such as humans, dwarves, and elves. This assumption is deservedly so, given that they far exceed any other race in power due to their extensive mana development, martial arts and physical capabilities. However, the Asuras are not worthy inheritors of the title, most powerful, as this belongs to the ancient race of the Djinns. Related, the 12 most powerful anime villains of all time. Unlike the Asura, the Djinns possessed skills and knowledge of ether that far exceeded anything the Asura were capable of with it, as the only clan capable of using any form of ether among the Asura was the draconic Indrath clan, the most powerful clan among the Asura. However, the Djinns used ether the same way mana is used by every other race, while ether is the superior power system within the series, as shown by Arthur's use of it. It is a probable wonder as to how they were to be defeated by the Asuras. Unlike the Asura, who have no problems with violence, the Djinns were a race of pacifists and pure knowledge seekers content to improve their knowledge constantly, which ultimately led to their extinction. 10. The Beginning After the End was written by Turtle Me. Brandon Lee. The main author of the fantasy web novel, The Beginning After the End, is Brandon Lee, with the literary pen name, Turtle Me. Consequently, the official author name of the series is Turtle Me. Raised in Korea and currently based in Washington, D.C., Turtle Me is a renowned author as a result of his fantasy comic series. The Beginning After the End is Turtle's first published work, but due to its widespread success and popularity, it was illustrated as a webcomic and released officially on July 6, 2018. Currently, the webcomic is accessible on Tapas and Amazon Kindle. 9. The Beginning After the End is both a webcomic and a web novel. Different templates for readers' preference. It is not unusual to discover comics, manga, and manhwa based on novels. However, The Beginning After the End web novel is just as popular as the comic. Tapas published the first volume of the web novel on January 18, 2017. Presently, the web novel has 9 published volumes: Early Years, New Heights, Beckoning Fates, Horizon's Edge, Convergence, Transcendence, Divergence, Ascension, and Reckoning. The web novel has about 325 official chapters. However, the web novel has a volume that is currently ongoing on Tapas. In addition, the webcomic features approximately 120 chapters with detailed character designs and well-drawn fights, unlike the web novel. 8. The Beginning After the End is a reincarnation webcomic. The perfect isekai fantasy. Reincarnation is a pretty popular concept in several anime, manga, manhwa, and webcomics. However, The Beginning After the End uniquely applies the reincarnation concept. The plot of TBATE is centered on King Grey, a mighty leader who is reincarnated into the continent of Decathan as Arthur Lewin. However, Arthur didn't reincarnate into a new world naked, without any skill. His previous experience as a warrior helped him hone his skills as a mage faster than normal. At the age of 3, Arthur awakened as a mage, an extremely rare occurrence in Decathan. 7. The Beginning After the End's protagonist is Arthur Lewin, the ideal overpowered protagonist. Arthur Lewin, the series' protagonist, was born to Reynolds and Alice Lewin. As highlighted earlier, Arthur is an exceptionally gifted mage that awakened at the age of 3. However, an early awakening is a small part of Arthur's talent. Arthur is also a quadra-elemental mage with deviance in 2 forms. Related. 13 Best sites to read manhwa. Mages in Decathan can control different forms of magic. However, Arthur can control all the basic forms and even the higher forms of water and fire, ice and lightning. At a young age, Arthur met a majestic dragon, Sylvia, that transferred her beastwool, her powers, to him. This power boost allowed him to expand his magical abilities and gain a new companion, Sylvie, Arthur's draconic bond. 6. The Beginning After the End uses a mana-based power system. A comprehensive and detailed portrayal of magic. Similar to most fantasy stories, The Beginning After the End operates using mana as its core foundation. Mana, in TBATE, is utilized by mages with developed cores. The lighter a mage's core, the higher their ability to manipulate mana adeptly. The order of a mage's core growth is black, red, orange, yellow, silver, and white. The white core stage is the highest realm a mage can achieve. However, from Sylvia's last words to Arthur, readers can deduce that there is a higher magical stage. Also, mages in the webcomic are classified into conjurers, enhancers, and emitters, each with their own unique attributes. 5. The Beginning After the End is a high fantasy story. The ideal balance of the extraordinary. High fantasy, alternatively known as epic fantasy, is a subgenre of fantasy. The basis of high fantasy is that readers are introduced to a new world or universes they are unfamiliar with. Usually, in high fantasy stories, the hero strives to end conflicts and triumph over malevolent forces. The beginning after the end clearly falls into this category. TBATE readers are introduced into a different world with fantasy-oriented concepts like magic, mana beasts, mages, and more. Even more, currently, a conflict appears to be brewing, and Arthur would most likely be at its heart. For the beginning after the end is popular. A testament to the plot quality of TBATE. Many non-readers of the webcomic are unaware of how popular the series is, which is quite understandable since the show isn't animated. However, despite the lack of awareness, TBATE has gained quite a number of loyal readers. Related. Solo leveling. 20 strongest characters in the manhwa, ranked. First, the series has great ratings. On Amazon Prime, the first volume of the web novel is rated 4.7. On popular manga sites like Manganello, TBATE has over 70 million views. On its main publication platform, Tapas, the webcomic has over 19.4 million views, attesting to the story's popularity. 3. The beginning after the end differs from manga or manhwa. Several unanswered questions and mysteries still to be solved. The beginning after the end is often called a manga or a manhwa by fans and readers. So, is it one of both? No, a manga is a Japanese-styled comic with a black and white art style read from left to right. On the other hand, manhwa are colored, and they are read by scrolling upwards, as opposed to Japanese manga. Manhwa also originates from Korea. T-Bait, however, is a webcomic that follows Western styles in terms of comic design. Webcomics are comics published on apps and websites. Although comics like The Beginning After the End are manga-inspired, they belong to a different class. 2. The beginning after the end is not ending anytime soon. Several unanswered questions and mysteries still to be solved. The Beginning After the End webcomic is based on the web novel series with the same name. The web novel currently has 9 volumes. From one of the latest chapters, chapter 141, it can be inferred that the webcomic is in volume 4 of the web novel. Apart from the comic's correspondence with the novel, there are crucial questions in the comic that are still far from being answered. One of them is Sylvia's final message to Arthur, which the webcomic hasn't revealed. Another is how the fall of Xyrus Academy and Arthur's incarceration is going to impact the story. 1. The beginning after the end shares similarities with Solo Levelin. Thank you for watching the video. If you like it, don't forget to like it, and also don't forget to read the manhwa.